Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here for the Monday night Premier League football where struggling Everton take on the rebuilding Arsenal, who have leapfrogged towards the European places after a good run of form in recent months. It is the definition of doom and gloom for Everton, as they are now 8 games in the Premier League without a win, where their last win came back in late September as they defeated Norwich 2-0. For Arsenal, they have 2 losses in their last 4 games, but against strong opposition, which include Liverpool away and Manchester United at Old Trafford. A stubborn defence and a youthful core, Arsenal are becoming a tougher side to come up against and and a harder team to gain those 3 points against, where in previous seasons they were seen as more of an easier target within those top 6 teams. 2 Spaniards as managers for the teams, but one is hugely under pressure. Reported emergency meetings have been called this week about former Liverpool manager Rafa Benitez. After a midweek Merseyside defeat, a response is desperately needed for Everton tonight. With a tough Christmas period coming up for both teams, which out of the 2 teams, Everton and Arsenal, will be taking the 3 points at Goodison Park tonight. Massive game for Everton. Their director of football left yesterday, just showing the cracks that are occurring in the Everton, not just squad, but club as a whole. Spent so much money over the last 5 years or so, but it's not quite come to fruition in terms of everything working. They've had bad injuries this season, Calvert-Lewin being a massive one. He's been out since around September. He's still going to be coming back in a few weeks' time. They have got Richarlison, a few's returned, Decore's coming back, Yerry Mina in defence has come back as well, but a big miss for Everton. No Luca Digne at left back. It is reported that he is one of the players who are speaking out about Rafa Benitez's appointment and how he's unhappy with the way Everton are setting up under the Spaniard. But that's just rumours, we'll have to find out. But Luca Digne, first team left back, France international, out of the squad for today's game. Another good injury boost return for Arsenal is Granit Xhaka. He's back about 3 weeks before he's meant to return after being out for around 2 months after injuring himself against Spurs in the North London derby. So that's a great return for Arsenal to see him back so early. Kieran Turner is also back in, replacing Nuno Tavares. Saka is also back in the starting 11 after starting on the bench against Manchester United after a knock he picked up against Newcastle in Arsenal's last home game. And Martin Ødegaard will start ahead of Emil Smith-Rowe, as Smith-Rowe is out of the squad completely. Could this mean that Smith-Rowe picked up an injury? He probably has, because he has been on hot form this season. We are just under 8 minutes from kick-off. If you are new, please like and subscribe, all that good stuff. 3-1 to Arsenal, big away win, big fan walkout. Apparently that is true. At Everton, there are reports that they are planning a boycott of the game in the 27th minute. 27th minute, because that is the last time they won a trophy 27 years ago. A team with great history. They have got 24 trophies in their club history. I think their last win of a trophy was the Community Shield or Charity Shield, had different names in its past, and that was in the 1995-1996 season. So long time without a trophy. Like I said, they've spent so much money on players under different managers, and it's just not working. It was a risky move to bring in Benitez. Worked at the very early parts of the season, but with 8 games without a win in the Premier League, starting to become a little bit worrisome. We're hearing rumours that apparently Mourinho might be next in line to become Everton manager if Benitez doesn't last, but that is pure rumours and talk. That might not be true at all. But just before we do, let me just move this over. But before we do, just before we do get into the game, let's go through the starting 11s quick. You can see them on both sides, but I'm going to go through them in a bit more detail. Now, Jordan Pickford, England's number 1 in goal, has missed 1 Premier League game this season against Aston Villa away, but other than that, he's been in net for the other 13 Premier League games, keeping 3 clean sheets in the process. James Coleman, the experienced 33-year-old right back, comes in with Yerry Mina returning from injury after missing his last 6 with a thigh problem. Michael Keane, he's played every single minute so far in the Premier League. He is playing at centre-back alongside Ben Godfrey, who's been shifted out to left-back. He's now starting his 12th Premier League game in a row. Andros Townsend's been shifted to the right, Anthony Gordon on the left, with two holding midfielders of Abdoulaye Doucouré and Allen. He's also started 14 games in the Premier League this season, 14 and 14. And then the two holding it up front, Demarai Gray will be playing just in behind Richarlison, who's got the two Premier League goals this season against Watford and Southampton. Their bench is Asmir Begovic, the 6'6" Bosnian, with John Joe Kenny, Mason Holgate, Jared Brathwaite, Jean-Philippe Gabamin. Fabian Delph dropped to the bench for this one. He has played 4 of the last 5 in the Premier League, so he may enter off the bench. Andre Gomez, who's also back after a calf injury. He's missed the last 9. He's back on the bench for today's game. Alex Iwobi, formerly of Arsenal from 2004 to 2019, so 15 years at the Gunners. He is going to hopefully try and haunt his former team. And Cenk Tosun is also on the bench, the striker. The only appearance of the season was a 10-minute cameo against Liverpool in last midweek. So that's the Everton squad at home. This massive game, they need a win. They can't go 9 without a win. That'll start really causing alarm bells. Not like there isn't already alarm bells after 8 without a win, but 9, you're creeping towards double figures. Something has to be done if you're hitting those numbers. Sorry if that was just a bit loud. And then for Arsenal, they've got Aaron Ramsdale in goal. England's, you could argue, number 2. He'll be battling Pickford for that number 1 spot for the World Cup upcoming next year. Takahiro Tomiyasu, the Japanese right back, starts with Ben White and Gabriel, with Kieran Turner returning now back into the Premier League starting 11. He's gone with the last 6 games without playing any minutes. He was injured for the last 4 before the last 2. So the last 2 games he's just been not chosen by Arteta, been put on the bench, but he's back. Tavares on the bench. 2 older midfielders of Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian, who started 9 out of the last 10 games in the Premier League, and a returning Granit Xhaka, who's been out with the last 8 games with injury, but he has come back into the starting 11 3 weeks ahead of his scheduled return. Bukayo Saka will get a start on the right-hand side or left, pretty interchangeable between him and the other starting winger, Gabriel Martinelli, who's got the 1 Premier League goal this season. It was a lovely finish against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago now. And then holding the line is going to be Alexandre Lacazette, only 1 goal in his 9 Premier League appearances this season. That was a last-minute equaliser against Crystal Palace, and Martin Odegaard, the Norwegian, comes in for his 9th start of the season after scoring in midweek against United, but also being the devil as well, as he gave away the penalty which Ronaldo converted to give Manchester United the 3-2 victory in Michael Carrick's last game involved at Manchester United. The bench for Arsenal is going to be Arthur Nkonkwo in the backup keeper role. Bernd Leno is out with an injury. Cedric's also on the bench with Rob Holding and Nuno Tavares as the defensive options. The holding midfield options are going to be Mohamed El Neni, who did start his first Premier League game in the midweek against Manchester United. Albert Sambi-Lokonga is also going to be dropped to the bench, with Nicolas Pepe also on the bench. He's linked to a January move to AC Milan. We'll see if that materialises. Aubameyang's been heavily criticised for recent form, lacking the goal-scoring touch. He's got none in his last 5 Premier League games. He drops to the bench ahead of Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah. He's only been in the Premier League squad now for the 2nd time. His first time was in the last game against Manchester United, which he got 15 minutes after replacing Arsenal's captain, Alexandre Lacazette. They're the 2 squads just about to get underway for kick-off in a couple minutes' time. Massively important game for Everton, I think it goes without saying, but sometimes you do need to just mention the obvious. It's a huge game, and a win is needed for both sides, really. Arsenal definitely want to keep up their good form, and they're currently 7th, but obviously they've got this game to play, so I think they'll go up to 5th if they do grab the 3 points, and also if they do lose, it'll be 7 wins and 6 losses for the season. That's not great. You obviously want to be winning a lot more than you're losing with a club of Arsenal's stature at the minute. They're falling just a bit behind that. Benitez and Arteta just trading a few words with laughter in the middle. Demarai Gray claps the Everton fans. I wonder how long they'll all be lasting. Like I said, there is a planned 27th minute boycott of this game in protest of everything that's going on really at Everton in this current minute. Seems to be pretty much a sellout crowd though, looking around the ground. Everton in their full home strip. Arsenal in their full home strip as well, in that red strip that they are so famous for. Yeah, just before the game, if you could please like and subscribe if you haven't already, it helps massively. We are waiting to get underway with Mike Dean officiating his 10th game of the season in the Premier League. Big night in Liverpool. Goodison Park is the venue as Arsenal travel to Everton. Mike Dean blows the whistle. All players and staff take the knee to keep the message prominent that there is no room for racism, as we are about to get underway with Arsenal kicking off, kicking left to right. They played it back to Ramsdale, who just about clears it ahead of Andros Townsend. Up towards Tomiyasu, heads inside towards Xhaka, helped away by Decore down the left-hand side, and it'll be kept alive by Damari Gray, who goes down the line, and he finds Richarlison off a deflection of Ben White. He'll charge down the left towards the box, tries to hold it up against Granit Xhaka. Good tackle from the Swiss in the right-back area. Then he can deal with it very calmly. Granit Xhaka, who's back in the team for the first time in a couple months, and then cleared out a play for an Everton throw-in. Good, exciting start there from Everton, trying to get forward, but it was well defended by Arsenal. Thrown down the line by Godfrey, flicked on by Richarlison. Damari Gray tries to get beyond Ben White. He's dealt with it well, the former Brighton centre-half, and it's clipped up towards Lacazette, over him, and to Yerry Mina, the Colombian, who's also back in the starting 11 tonight, after recovering from an injury. Coleman, poor touch by Gordon on the halfway on the right-hand side. He's picked up by Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian. Secured himself a gold medal in the Olympics in the summer. Gabriel Martinelli, the Brazilian. Here's Aaron Ramsdale in the 18-yard box. Goes across to Gabriel on the left. Then back to Ramsdale. Touch with the right foot, clearance with the left. Over towards Martinelli, who's peeled out to the left-hand side. Poor pass inside, picked up by Anthony Gordon. He's now back in the Everton half. And all the way back to Jordan Pickford, the 6'1" English goalkeeper. And I know you can see the curtains to my left, but I can't move them. So you can see a little bit of the curtains, if that's okay. I just can't move these sign because of where the camera is. Or if I do that, let's do that. Everton do clear it down the right-hand side channel. As far as Gabriel for Arsenal. Andros Townsend did give chase, but Gabriel was on it. Under 2 minutes in, Arsenal trying to control the game. Cleared forward, long up towards Martinelli. He can't take it under control, and Coleman will let it go for a throw-in in their own half. He goes back to Yerry Mina. And to Jordan Pickford in the 6-yard area. Not being pressed by Lacazette, so he'll have time to pick an option. He'll also go long over towards Coleman. Takes it down beautifully and plays it forward to Townsend. He goes back to Abdoulaye Doucouré, formerly of Watford, before making the move to Merseyside. Gordon in the Arsenal half lays it back into Seamus Coleman. Now 33 years of age, the Irishman. Been at Everton since January 2009. Now racked up 362 appearances as Godfrey charges down the left. He gets onto the ball played forward by Richarlison. He slips in the box and he'll be let go in the end for an Arsenal goal kick. Coleman was the one who slipped it into Richarlison, who poked it through the gap, and Godfrey sprinted onto it on his weaker side, and unfortunately his right foot just gave way, and it meant his touch went out of play. Good positive play, great flicking behind from Richarlison, but yeah, Godfrey on his weaker side just slipped over. And now we're under pressure with Aaron Ramsdale. Poor clearance, deflects off Decore, but Gordon can't quite keep it in. Throwing for Arsenal, Kieran Turner. Scotsman's back in the starting 11. 6 games without any minutes for Kieran Turner, formerly of Celtic. He throws it into the former Real Madrid man, Ødegaard. Martinelli tries to take it on the turn. Sweeps it wide right to Tomiyasu, the Japanese international, who breaks into the Everton half on the right-hand side. He's got the support of Bukayo Saka, who's one-on-one with Godfrey. A few step-overs, and he's looking inside for an option. It's Ødegaard. Thomas Partey finds Tomiyasu in the final third. Plays it back into Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian. Ben White. And then back to Gabriel. Xhaka slips it into Tierney as they've worked it now to the left-hand side. Taking their time, Arsenal, waiting for the gaps to appear. Xhaka, left-footed ball, back out to Tierney. Does he fancy a cross? He cuts inside. Plays it back into Xhaka. Forward to Lacazette on the edge of the box. Pokes it to Thomas Partey. Can't take it under control. Richarlison picks it up in the Everton half. Tries to stroll away with it on the left. Then goes back inside through the middle. Then pokes it right to Granit Xhaka. He did well in the beginning there, Richarlison, but a lazy pass means that Arsenal are back in possession on the halfway line with Thomas Partey. Goes across to Kieran Turner. Gabriel. Cross to Ben White as Arsenal have just been forced back into their own half momentarily. Partey is allowed to turn and burst forward. Plays it across to Lacazette, who dropped deeper for the ball. Tierney. Over to Ben White, who ended up racking up 49 appearances for Brighton in his 7-year stay there. Did spend one of his seasons there on loan at Leeds, where he got that team promoted. And then had a good debut Premier League season with Brighton last year. Mainly playing in that 3 at the back system with Dunk and Webster alongside him for Brighton. So all Arsenal currently on the ball as Granit Xhaka looks for an audacious switch out towards Bukayo Saka. It does come off in the end after bouncing off the top of the head of Godfrey. Into the box is now Ødegaard. Goes to Tomiyasu, who's made the angle on the right-hand side. Back into the Norwegian Ødegaard. We know he's got a great creative mind. Just plays a simple ball instead to Granit Xhaka, who gets the return of Gabriel. Down the line it goes to Tierney. He's asking a lot of the Scotsman, asking a little bit too much of him. I think that'll be a goal kick in the end for Everton as they do survive the early Arsenal pressure. Like I said, Arsenal have suffered 2 losses in their last 4, but they have been to very credible sides. Liverpool and Manchester United away, 4-0 loss to Liverpool at Anfield, and we do stop the game and have a minute of pause at the 6th minute. It happened yesterday between Aston Villa and Leicester, and it's happened again today. Plays completely slopped in memory of Arthur Labinjo Hughes, big Birmingham fan. Tragic story. A life lost that should never have been let down by the system. We do have a minute's pause. The game is back underway with a Pickford goal kick, but the applause do carry on around the ground for an extra 15 seconds. Devastating that we should be doing a minute applause on the 6th minute for a young boy who's passed away at that age, but you know, there's people out there who just don't deserve to be around, and they're the ones who stay, and we lose ones that shouldn't. But justice, hopefully, in some way possible, will prevail, even though the life's already lost, and it's very sad. But great to see the game stop on the 6th minute and the players to join in with a round of applause for that minute. We're back underway with a Tomiyasu throw-in. Goes back to Ben White, who's number 4 for Arsenal. He's had a good start to his Arsenal career. Not the greatest of starts in terms of the first 3 games where they did lose to Brentford, Chelsea and Manchester City. But from then, they've been pretty consistent at Arsenal. As Lacazette drops really deep for the ball and loses out to Allen. Met with a strong crunching tackle by the Frenchman. Oh, and then Godfrey goes right into Tomiyasu and wins the throw-in. Good job he got the ball. We've seen those end a little bit differently. Godfrey going really strong in on Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu didn't have a problem with the challenge, and neither did Mike Dean, and we're underway once again with Everton now on the ball with their back line. Coleman in the 18-yard box is Yerry Mina. They have to work out from the back here. Across to Michael Keane, pressed by Ødegaard. Left-footed ball goes into Richarlison, tries to flick it out wide to Gray, and he does come off. The former Leicester man, surrounded by Arsenal shirts, but gets beyond Bukayo Saka and plays it through towards Andros Townsend. Has he broke the offside trap? We're going to continue down this left. It looks like he has. Andros Townsend shifts it onto his left foot, gets a crossing towards the far post. Too much on it for Anthony Gordon. He'll fall all the way across to Gabriel Martinelli on the Arsenal left. Goes down by Decore, but does distribute to Xhaka. And Arsenal have survived that slight worrying Arsenal attack. Everton attack. Ødegaard in the right back area. As Arsenal play out from the back. It's now Ben White. Gabriel over to Ben White once again. Arsenal are looking for their 8th win of the season. It would put them on to 26 points for the season if they do come away with a victory tonight. They do have plenty of victories against Everton. 108 in their 217 fixture history. 34 of them coming in the Premier League, and 12 of them have been at Goodison, so fair share of wins at this ground. Partey pokes it through to Lacazette, turns and looks forward and finds Tierney, who's got forward on the left-hand side. Poor touch, can be tackled by Coleman and left on the ground by the Irish captain. That's now Decore, tries to break away, gets lucky with a deflection back off of Verdegaard into his feet, then goes across to Allen, then forward to Michael Keane, who will bring it now into the Arsenal half with a pass to Godfrey. They play an unorthodox left-back role. Ben Godfrey did play 10 games at left-back last season, so he has got experience in that role, but again, when you're right-footed, you don't really want to be playing on the left-hand side, especially at left-back, but obviously João Cancelo this season for City has showed that he's definitely doable, and you can get great performances on that weak side as a full-back. Coleman, inside to Decore. Back and across it goes to Michael Keane, the Everton centre-half. Looking forward for an advancing pass, looks to get it through the lines into Anthony Gordon, who tried to run in behind, was never going to quite reach him on the edge of the 18-yard box. It fell right through to Aaron Ramsdale in the end. And he's on the ball, the very impressive English keeper at the moment, making some fantastic saves, Aaron Ramsdale. As they try and play out from the back. So it's Partey. On the edge of the box it goes across to Granit Xhaka. Currently beating the Everton press here. It goes over to Kieran Turner. Thomas Partey, who last scored when we last commentated, or one of the last games we commentated on, which was Aston Villa going away to Arsenal. Thomas Partey scored from a corner, which they've been working on after bringing in Manchester City's former set-piece coach. And you can see a considerable difference. They're very dangerous from set pieces. Gabriel is on the ball, also scored from a set piece in a game which we commentated on. That was when Arsenal travelled to Leicester away, winning 2-0. As Partey looked in behind for Saka. Too much on it. Falls right through to the gloves of Jordan Pickford. 190 appearances in the Premier League now for Jordan Pickford. 159 of them for Everton and the 31 for his boyhood club, Sunderland. There he is in the 6-yard area, looking for the pass. He's not being pressed by Arsenal. He's allowed to play it into his left-hand sided centre-back, Michael Keane. Slightly hesitated on the ball there, but then was able to get it back to Pickford. He then goes across to the Colombian 6'5" man mountain of Yerry Mina. Coleman into Pickford again. They are struggling to get out from the back here. He'll go long and diagonal, looking for the ball to Demarai Gray. Doesn't win the header on Tomiyasu. Ben Godfrey comes in and collects. Now Richarlison lays it into Demarai Gray. He's running away from the Arsenal defence. Chops past Thomas Partey on the edge of the box. He decides to strike slightly off balance. I think that was always heading over and wide. Don't think he was ever going to be able to direct that goalwards, just as he was off balance. Good hold-up play again from Richarlison, linking up the play, getting Demarai Gray involved from the left-hand side. Got past Thomas Partey, was looking to shoot, but was just always falling off balance after pressure from Granit Xhaka from behind. Half-decent start to the game from both sides. No real clear-cut chances as of yet, but I'm sure they will soon come. As we're currently in the Everton half with Gabriel, one of 3 Arsenal players who are in the Everton half. Everyone else is camped in the Everton half for now. Ben White works it to Tomiyasu, who's a little bit more advanced in the back 4. Pass deflected, and it will be a 50-50 between him and Richarlison for it, and Richarlison comes out on top. Gray, Allen, forward to Andros Townsend. Has to just face it back to Ben Godfrey at left back. And he's got it in the Everton half, and he has to go across to Michael Keane as Arsenal get back in position here. Keane will go for the switch over to Coleman, keeps it in with the header down the line where Gordon will give chase, will not beat Kieran Turner to it, but Turner does fall off the side of the pitch, and I think there's a bit of hard ground just next to the pitch as Anthony Gordon just gave him a shove. Nothing really too intentional. He did just slip and then fall onto like the concrete part of the pitch next to it. Don't think there's really much wrong with that. I think Turner making the most out of that, to be completely honest. But he's a throw-in for Everton in the final third. Into the box it goes to Richarlison, tries to hold up on Gabriel. Poor touch. Out for a goal kick, it will go. Richarlison having to play that lone striker role where Calvert-Lewin would usually be, and then Richarlison would work off Calvert-Lewin, but unfortunately the Sheffield-born striker is currently injured and will be out for a couple more weeks as Rafa Benitez, which is a big loss. They have been getting goals from those cheap signings that have been absolutely fantastic buys so far. And Demarai Gray's got 4 goals this season. He did have 0 in his last 9 games before scoring in the Merseyside derby, which ended up just being a bit of a consolation goal in the end for the final score. And Andros Townsend on a free from Crystal Palace. He's got 5 goals this season, 3 of them coming in the Premier League. His last goal was against Manchester United away, and that was 8 games ago in that 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. 15 minutes in, throwing down the line by Everton. Helped away by Gabriel. A firm volley up towards Mina, who heads away from Lacazette. Allen over his head towards Townsend, who flicks it on. It'll be Gabriel to give chase. Townsend will have to chase his own header. Gabriel helps it down the left-hand side. Mina wins the header. Helped back inside by Gordon. Touched by Partey. It was a poor touch and Gray got there, but it's going to be play continued as Townsend's being zipped in behind. On the edge of the box, cuts onto his left foot. Oh, he was thinking Doucouré was going to take over. They both got lost in translation. And Everton could just nick the ball back. And Arsenal could just nick the ball back off of Everton. Andros Townsend took a heavy touch cutting in, and he thought Doucouré was just going to take over as he'd kind of lost momentum with the ball, Townsend, but Doucouré left it himself and Arsenal could pick it up. Just seems to be raining now on Merseyside. Again, no real clear-cut chances, but both teams showing intent of getting in behind and looking to break past the respective defences of both sides. Arsenal haven't won at this ground since 2017. It was a 5-2 victory, so I would do with one of them very nicely. Monreal, Ozil, Lacazette, Sanchez and Ramsey scored for Arsenal that day. 5 different goal scorers. That's back when Unai Emery would have been in charge, I presume. Tierney. Oh, it could have been Wenger. I think it was Wenger's last year, 2017-18 season. As Arsenal are just in control of the ball at the minute with Ben White, technical centre-back, on the ball, very calm and composed. Yet to score for Arsenal, though, so far, Ben White. Didn't get a goal as well last season in the Premier League. Ødegaard in the Arsenal half, drops deep for the ball. Plays it to Takehiro Tomiyasu. And he did his bit during the COVID pandemic. He donated 1,000 masks to one of his former youth clubs back in Japan. I think it was last year during the higher peaks of the pandemic. Tierney's brought the ball down beautifully and drives inside. He's got options right and left. He goes to the right to Ødegaard. He goes once more to the right to Saka in the box. Goes down by Godfrey. Lays it back into Ødegaard. Back to goal now. Lays it into Partey, who strikes. And that has got to be one of the worst strikes of the ball I've ever seen. High, 10 or 15 yards wide. He's just completely mishit it. And what seemed to be a good chance opening up for Arsenal, they have bottled it a little bit. Tierney worked it really well inside, taking the ball away from the defender, played it through to Ødegaard, who then got it over once more to Saka, but the shot didn't really materialise into anything, or he couldn't even get a shot away anyway. Bukayo Saka, the now 20-year-old, had a storming Euros, ended with disappointments, but will definitely be remembered as one of Gareth Southgate's most trustworthy players in those Euros. Was called upon in the big games, assisted against Denmark in the semi-final for Raheem Sterling. Inaugural part of that Euro squad. Xhaka hooks away for Arsenal, headed forward by Michael Keane, picked back up by the Swiss international, who was a big part of Switzerland's success in the Euros. Got that historic win against France in the round of 16 on penalty kicks. Granted, Xhaka was a big part of that. So Arsenal to get forward again. Ødegaard's drifted out wide and goes down the line to Saka in the final third. He's dragged out Michael Keane here from centre-back. He just played back to Ødegaard, who, despite being at the age of, I think, 22, he is the Norwegian captain of the national team. Looks for the switch to Tierney. His poor touch allows Seamus Coleman to deal with it and clear away. Just loops in the Everton sky. And Xhaka wins it as he nudges Gordon onto the ground. Can be cleared in the end. As far as Ben White, who heads forward to Tierney. Can't help it forward. Only as far as Anthony Gordon. Forward to Townsend, back to Decore in the Everton half. They have to work it back now to Mina, and once more to Jordan Pickford, who's usually good with his distribution, as he looks to clip it wide left, finds an Arsenal shirt, Tomiyasu, Ødegaard, lays it off into Thomas Partey. On the halfway line, he has control of the ball, the former Atletico Madrid player. Nice curled ball towards Saka, who just slips on the byline, but he is able to keep it in on the far touch line. Ben White with a switch, asking a lot of Tierney, headed out for a throw-in towards the hands of Arteta by Ben White. Very, very, as Rafa Benitez has just shown, giving his head a good scrub with a towel. Obviously, the rain's really affecting the lack of hair he has. Obviously, giving his glasses a good wipe as well. But yeah, Arteta's very animated on the sidelines since he's become a manager at Arsenal. That was back in December of 2019 after leaving his assistant job at Manchester City. As Saka's just been caught late here on the left knee, just inside the Everton half it was. The ball was there to be won by Godfrey, but he didn't get it, and he caught Saka late on the left knee. That would be a bit of a nasty one for Saka, not one you really want to experience, and he stayed down here. Hopefully this isn't serious for the smart Bukayo Saka. The man who does put a lot of his inspiration on his father. He said it before. He was a big inspiration for him. His father went going through the ranks of the academies and when growing up in general. Bit of caught late there by Ben Godfrey, and it is a nasty one on the left knee. Just a bit of a collision with Ben Godfrey. But he's got a contract with Bukayo Saka till 2024. He was also Arsenal's Player of the Year last year, and deservedly so. So versatile as well. People forget that. He can play wing back, he can play in central midfield if needs be, he can play on the right wing and the left wing. Like I said, if you could like and subscribe, that would be brilliant for the growth of the channel. I'm hoping to do more commentaries now over the Christmas period once I get off college, but college has really been taking up my time. That's why I've not done a commentary in over a month, which, again, is never the plan. But that's just the way it goes, and that's why Arsenal have now been commentated on 3 times in a row, because I knew I could commentate this Monday night game, and then as soon as I found out who was playing on the Monday night, it had to be Arsenal again. But I've commentated on Arsenal 3 times now. Previous 2 times they have won. Commentating against them at Aston Villa at home, they won, I think that was 3-1 in the end, and then also against Leicester away, which was a 2-0 victory. Smith Rowe scored in that one, and Gabriel from a corner. But after a slight pause in the game, Bukayo Saka is back on his feet. Just hobbling a little bit, just getting some pressure back on that knee. And he's back on the pitch, just hobbling a little bit. Hopefully he will be okay to continue. I do enjoy watching Bukayo Saka. Apologies. Xhaka ball into Martinelli. I haven't heard much of him, and he doesn't keep it, but it's given away by Decore. Tierney too slow on the ball. Gordon wins it back on the right hand side, tries to play it down the line, runs out of pitch. Throw in for Arsenal just inside the Everton half, right outside the very close dugouts, where the 61-year-old Rafa Benitez goes alongside the 39-year-old Mikel Arteta, who did play a good, I think, 6 years of his professional career at Everton before moving on to Arsenal as a player. Very beloved by the Everton fans. He was around where David Moyes was really setting the standards at Everton Football Club. Warning, we are about 3.5 minutes away from that supposed 27th minute walkout protest. Andros Townsend gets on the afters from the throw-in. Coleman goes back to the halfway line to Yerry Mina. He's going to be forced backwards to Pickford again. Good press there from Alexandre Lacazette, the Frenchman. He's also looking like he may be moving on in January. Lacazette, with lack of consistent starts for him. Alan, the Brazilian, works it to Godfrey. He's got up the pitch from left back, tries to go inside towards Andros Townsend. Pass intercepted by Tomiyasu. Ben Godfrey, very versatile along that back line, can play left back, centre back and right back as he's throwing towards Townsend, being pickpocketed by Thomas Partey. Gabriel, really poor clearance, straight into the feet of Demarai Gray. Through towards Decore, deflects into the path of Richarlison though, then finds Decore, spins and then shoots, and it's a very weak shot. Ramsdale will let it pass past his post, and a goal kick it'll be as Gabriel apologises for his clearance that had no length on it or height. Just a little bit rushed from Gabriel. Fell to the feet of Gray, looked to the right to Decore first time. It deflected back towards him, but it fell to Richarlison, who then got it to Decore, who did spin around 10 to 12 yards out. His shot on his weaker right foot was very poor, and Ramsdale could see it past his post. So it stays 0-0, 25th minute. Gabriel out to Tierney. Down the line to Xhaka. Takes a nice touch, and then goes inside to Partey, who looks forward, dispossessed by Richarlison. Good work from the attacker to win the ball back for his side. Now Coleman back to centre-half Mina. Across to Michael Keane. Look for a pass to Godfrey, and does find him, and he puts it into his path where he can now stride onwards into the final third towards the byline. Left-footed cross, touched by Townsend, falls to Tomiyasu, cleared out for a throw-in right in front of the Arsenal travelling fans. Well, it'll be good Godfrey to take the throw-in. Into Richarlison, back to goal. Being held back by Tomiyasu. Tries to get beyond the Japanese and the English international Saka. He loses that in the end. They take it off him, and Thomas Partey clears. But it's bags of time for Yerry Mina to get it just inside the Everton half as they look to pile some pressure onto the Arsenal goal, which they could do with doing now just on the 27th minute to try and keep the fans from leaving. They do lose out though with a diagonal ball towards Gray. Tomiyasu wins it. Loses though Saka. Number 7 to the Everton, number 7, Richarlison. 1-2 with Townsend in the box. Tries to work a shot, and I think it deflects off Ben White and out for a corner for Everton. We demand something. It's about time our club did too. Okay. We are heading towards the 27th minute. It's been 27 years since a trophy has been won for Everton. They do plan to walk out on the 27th minute, but from the corner, Gray gets it and he goes all the way across, and someone should have got on the end of it. Yerry Mina was the closest. Great ball from Demarai Gray. And that would have been a right way to keep the fans in on exactly 27th minute now. Show the replay right across. Mina tried to go for it. Just a bit too quick for the Colombian. It also went past Richarlison. He didn't really commit. Neither did Godfrey. And there are some fans leaving the ground. Some fans stand and applause, and there are fans leaving. But then there is fans standing and clapping and singing. I don't think it's in favour of the owner and the board, but I think it might just be to explain their beliefs on it's their club and they will sing for their club and not their board. Tomiyasu right back wins it, needs to try and get it clear. Pressured by Allen, tackled fairly, but the ball does fall to Saka from the Allen challenge. It's now Ødegaard. Across he goes to Kieran Turner, a lot of room here. Down the line to Martinelli, who needs to start getting involved a little bit more. Pressured by Coleman and Gordon. Into Martinelli again. Kieran Turner has been flagged offside in the final third. But fans definitely did leave. I don't know how many it was. Ooh! As Allen challenged Tomiyasu was on the ground. Godfrey's also gone for the ball. And as his foot was in the air, he's planted right on Tomiyasu's face. Was that necessary? It's getting VAR checked. Basically, the ball was on there to be won, and Tomiyasu fell to the ground. And as Godfrey's foot went off the deck, he then planted it back on Tomiyasu's face. Nothing done by VAR. They've not even let Mike Dean check. There's a clear stud mark in Tomiyasu's face. I don't think it was purposeful by Godfrey, but it's dangerous play. I don't know if Mike Dean's having struggle communicating with VAR. That definitely needs to be checked, though, I think, from the referee. Tomiyasu's just fallen to the ground from the Allen challenge. Godfrey's coming to collect the ball, and as he's flicked it away, his boot's then gone back off of the face of Tomiyasu and has left a stud mark. Yerry Mina's also down, which isn't great because he's just returning back from injury, holding that hamstring, which he's had issues with also from the injury. He's missed the last 6 with that injury. Very minimal amount of fans left that protest, I must admit. Not that many empty seats. Mina's back on his feet, but he looks like he might be walking off with a hamstring issue that he's returning from currently. This is his first game back, and he won't be able to see the full game out. He's just got to half an hour before pulling up again with that hamstring, and he will be replaced by Mason Holgate, number 4. Has had a red card this season in the 0-0 draw against Tottenham a couple of weeks ago. Antonio Conte's first Premier League game as manager of Tottenham Hotspur. So the Colombian's off. He's had a decent start to the game. He won a lot of his aerial battles, but down the tunnel he goes. Yerry Mina struggling again with that right hamstring, and he'll be replaced by 25-year-old Mason Holgate. Been at the club since 2015. Signed from Barnsley after staying there for 10 years, from 2005 to 2015. Pickford down the right, helped on towards Richarlison. Falls to Thomas Partey in the end, and he helps it over to Saka on the right. He'll be chased down by Godfrey. In the Arsenal half, he's forced back to Ben White. Forward to Thomas Partey. Then out wide to Tomiyasu, breaks the press nicely. Forward to Ødegaard. The space down the left for Tierney. Just about finds him, Ødegaard. Good ball in the final third. Tierney tries to take on Gordon. Can't quite do so, but he does attempt the cross. Deflects off Gordon. And out for a corner kick for Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think that protest was as successful as hoped from the Everton fans. Don't want to give an estimate of how many left, but it really wasn't many. It's going to be an in-swinging ball in, headed away at the near post by Allen. I think it was Martinelli's cross, so Brazilian to Brazilian there. Martinelli's really been pretty silent during the first 31 minutes of this match. Been thrown back to the halfway line to Granit Xhaka, who's had a decent start to the game as well, despite not playing in a couple months after picking up an injury against Tottenham in the North London derby, which is a 3-1 victory. Tomiyasu works across, and it's collected by Jordan Pickford. Pickford throws it out to the right-hand side to Seamus Coleman. He's going to be closed down by Martinelli, but works it down the line to Demarai Gray. Then back into Coleman. Once more to Holgate, getting his first few touches of the ball. Pickford out to Mason Holgate. Remember, Everton are winless in their last 8 Premier League matches, which is not good enough of a club as a club of this level. Just in their 18-yard box currently with Mason Holgate, number 4. Drills a pass into Decore. Back to goal. Coleman. Helped on by Gray. Nice little flick. Townsend's been held by Gabriel and he loses out. But then also does Thomas Partey. But then does Decore to Ødegaard. And Arsenal, the ones who end up back in possession after a midfield battle. Xhaka, Partey. Gabriel now into Ramsdale. Shifts it over to Ben White. Then forward to Thomas Partey. Bit of time to find the pass. Goes out wide right to Tomiyasu, who enters the Everton half. Down the line to Saka. Inside to Ødegaard. First time passing to Tomiyasu. Looks over the top for Saka. He's made a running behind. Just too much on it. The Japanese fullback and the English winger trying to link up there. Saka just made a running behind. Too much power on it with the lift as well. And it could be seen out for a goal kick for Everton. Just over 10 minutes yet to play in this half. Still 0-0. Again, no real proper clear-cut chances, I'd say. Pickford has a goal kick here. Did play in Arsenal's last win here at Goodison Park in that 5-2 defeat. And also in that season when they went away to the Emirates, they lost 5-1 as well. So conceded 10 against Arsenal that season. That was 3-4 years ago now. Pickford has been at the club since 2017. Has 50 clean sheets for the club. Great landmark to hit that for Jordan Pickford. Tierney with a throw-in the Arsenal half. Holgate wins the header. Back forward for Everton. Richarlison having to deal with the bullying work of Tierney, but he works it away from him. Demarai Gray. Townsend, the two summer signings linking together. Shifts onto his left foot, crossing to Richarlison, flicked on towards Gordon. Poor touch, and it will fall back to the Brazilian. On the byline, works it across. Controlled by Ben White and cleared. Not enough pressure on him by Everton players there. Keane looks for a switching behind. What a ball from former Manchester United man Michael Keane. Gray slides it back towards Coleman. First time cross in. Richarlison brings it down to Gordon, who strikes. Good block from Ben White. Helped away by Xhaka, not convincing. And they'll be out for a throw-in for Demarai Gray to take on the Everton right. And he goes back to Seamus Coleman. Once more into Holgate. And then again, it's Pickford forced all the way back to their own goal. Not great from Everton. But he slammed back forward by Pickford with height. Up towards Demarai Gray. Header won though by Tierney. Helped on by Martinelli. Hooked over the head of Lacazette by Decore. Everton back in possession. Keane. Short ball to Godfrey and he has to take out Saka. In the end, free kick for Arsenal just inside the Everton half. Poor ball by Keane. Godfrey's not happy with the given decision of a free kick. 3-1 to Arsenal. Everton having a good game so far. Yep, both teams are having half-decent starts. No one really taking a real control of the match. No real clear-cut chances. Everton getting close there with a few blocked shots. But Everton, despite the pressure they're under, not winning any game in 8, they have got off to a decent start here on this Monday Night Football. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is rain. I'm not sure if you can. That is absolutely tumbling down. Richarlison flicks it inside with the head of Demarai Gray, taken out in the end by Thomas Partey on the halfway. Free kick for Everton on the halfway line, given by Mike Dean, who has brandished 27 yellow cards in his previous 9 matches that he's officiated in the Premier League. That's an average of 3 a game. Yet to give away any red cards, which is a bit of a shock for Mike Dean. He's usually one for getting the red card out. I've seen many interviews with Mike Dean, a very down-to-earth person, just, doesn't play up to the cameras, but does admit that he does have that persona that will make him a bit of a hateable character at times. A little bit, pantomime-like. But, he's a character in the Premier League. It's characters that you need. Some referees can be labelled as a bit boring, but Mike Dean isn't part of that. He's the anomaly. Coleman thrown down the line. Lost by Richarlison. Ødegaard, good back heel into the space now for Martinelli to run into. He's got Lacazette inside. Looks for the Frenchman. Cut out though by Michael Keane. Pushed out of his defensive position to win it back. Down the line to Townsend. Tripped by Gabriel. Definitely a foul for Everton. As Gabriel blocked the chance for a quick free kick there for the Toffees. Hope you're all enjoying the commentaries. Like I said, hopefully there'll be more during the month of December. Holgate down the line. Everton 4 attempts, Arsenal 1. As Arsenal have a throw in here is Demarai Gray on the right hand side. Couldn't quite keep it in ahead of the pressure of Tierney. No shots on target though registered for either side. Throwing into Xhaka. Back to Tierney, the throwing taker. Gabriel. Across to Ramsdale. Takes a good touch. He's going to be closed down by Richarlison, but he's got it forward to Partey. Then further forward, beyond the halfway line for Ødegaard. It's now Saka. Tomiyasu, number 18, was very close to joining Spurs before jumping that gun and finding a chance at Arsenal. Xhaka. Tierney. He's got forward. He crosses. It's deflected. It's an Arsenal corner. Got a bit of a beard and a moustache there. Kieran Turner, usually quite clean shaven, clean faced. But he's one side of corner. Again, getting forward from the left back position, which he's so good at. But there is issues for Everton to deal with. Arsenal have been very good at set pieces. Like I said, they brought in former Manchester City set piece coach to help with that, and it's nearly flicked on at the near post by Partey. He's come off a Everton man last for another corner in the end. Be right-footed in swinger by number 35, Martinelli. Left arm raised. It's a bit of a deeper one this time. It's going to be punched by Pickford and then helped on by Richarlison. But as Pickford went to punch, he was pushed to the ground and a foul's been given. And a free kick by Mike Dean. Lacazette, the man on the keeper, just nudging him off balance to make that clearance a lot harder than what it probably was. Jordan Pickford placed the ball just above his 6-yard line to take the free kick that he won. Up into the Arsenal half. Richarlison's going to look to win the header, but he doesn't on Xhaka, but it doesn't matter because he's offside anyway. Richarlison was injured for a month. Richarlison as well, he missed 4 games during his spell out with an injury. Gabriel through the lines nicely to Thomas Partey. Sees Tierney getting forward again. Takes it away from Gordon. Then goes back to Xhaka on the halfway. It's now Gabriel, Partey, sweeping it out to Ben White, who has to take the high directed ball down. Then into Ramsdale. Ben White again, beating the press over Richarlison. Ødegaard has peeled out to the right side quite a few times this game so far. The former Real Madrid man, Martin Ødegaard, who made his La Liga debut in Real Madrid at the age of 16 years and 5 months and 6 days in a 7-3 win against Getafe. I do believe former Everton manager Carlo Ancelotti was the manager back then, as he does try a ball over the top and on the edge of the 18 for Martinelli, but it was over his head and out for a Pickford collection. Lacazette, who's got the captain's armband on tonight, ahead of Xhaka and ahead of Aubameyang, who's been benched for tonight's game. 3 minutes to half-time. Long ball up by Pickford towards Richarlison. Does get it away from Gabriel, and Anders Townsend takes over. Spinning one way then the other, and then Richarlison tries to take over again, but the free kick's been taken back as Richarlison was pulled down. He tried to play advantage, Mike Dean, through Anders Townsend, but he was running into dead ends. And in the end, after the foul on Richarlison by Gabriel, just pulling him down, Everton do have the reward of a free kick. It's looking like it's going to be the left-footed swinging ball by Townsend on the right-hand side. These are dangerous. These are ones that can go right through to the back of the net, even if it is a cross. But I think he'll be looking for the likes of Michael Keane, Mason Holgate. Anders Townsend over it. Lifts it in. It's helped on by Richarlison. What a header from the Brazilian. And right before half-time, Everton may be in current turmoil under their owner and board after their director of football leaving this week. But on the pitch currently, they are leading Arsenal by 1-0. A weak fan protest on the 27th minute doesn't stop Everton from applying pressure on the pitch. And they've done it a lot better than Arsenal have. And from the free kick, Richarlison lost his man. And from around 12 yards out, it's a great flighted header towards the far post, getting beyond Ramsdale in the Arsenal goal. I think he's played onside by the late... Oh, no, he's off. Offside. Someone's a very lucky boy there. Richarlison just goes a bit too early, but there's someone who was a bit late pushing out there for Arsenal. So before half-time, there is no lead yet for Everton, but they've definitely been the better side attacking for sure. I'd love to know who that Arsenal player is who was just a bit late, but, you know, not too late where he played Richarlison on side. Can't quite see who the Arsenal defender is because he's blocked by an Everton man. Richarlison so close to getting his 3rd goal of the season, his 10th appearance in the Premier League. But he'll have to wait as Ramsdale clears the free kick for the offside. Holgate wins the header. So as Ødegaard, who helps it back forward with his head to Lacazette. Goes over to Saka, who holds it up and brings Tomiyasu into play on the right. Works the first time cross, headed away by Coleman. Falls back to the Japanese international, tries to rush into the box. Taken away from him by Allen. Heavy touch gives Ødegaard a chance to win it back. Backheels it into Saka. Arsenal now looking dangerous after conceding the goal. Saka looks to get beyond a bunch of Arsenal bodies. Can't do so. Ball runs out after a heavy touch for a goal kick for Everton. Wonder how much added time now will be given. 2 minutes. Everton close to taking the lead through Richarlison, but he'd just gone a bit too early from the free kick. Good high line from Arsenal in the end. Taken up towards Richarlison. Can't win the header on Thomas Partey. Martinelli's touch is poor and Allen can scoop it away. As far as Gabriel, who can only hit Anthony Gordon, and that deflects to Townsend, who's coming back from an offside position. Ben White brings it forward for Arsenal in his own half. Crosses the border into the Everton half. Finds Saka. First time into Tomiyasu, who's made a run down the line, then tries to play it back in towards Saka. Be seen out in the end by Holgate and cleared away. Mason Holgate coming on as a sub after Mina came off injured, looking like his hamstrings. The issue again. Tomiyasu into Ben White as Arsenal look to get their own goal of this half just before the break. Just 10 yards above the halfway line is Ben White. It's now Thomas Partey chops past Townsend and he's going to look out wide left for Tierney and he'll play it to the former Celtic man. Going to try and take on Gordon. Has to go back to Xhaka as he doesn't fancy taking on the young Everton winger. Gabriel. 15 seconds of the half to go. Xhaka, Lacazette finds Tierney on the left. Can he work space for a cross? He does do so. He floats in towards Martin Ødegaard. It's a late first half blow for Everton as they just took the lead a few minutes ago. It was ruled out for offside. And they've had a real double whammy here. Goal disallowed and then a goal conceded minutes later, right on half-time. Richarlison is frustrated, and I think so is the whole of Goodison Park. Well, the fans of Goodison Park that are consistent of Everton fans, those Arsenal fans will be going berserk in the away end. Great cross from Tierney, back in the side after 6 games with no minutes for Arsenal. Works a great swinging cross in. Oh, Martin Ødegaard with the Di Canio technique. Left-footed volley right into the corner. Pickford has absolutely no chance. Beautiful goal for Ødegaard. He's now got back-to-back goals now in the Premier League. One away at Manchester United in the 3-2 loss, and now one in this game against Everton, which they currently lead 1-0. But what a blow for Everton that is. Probably been the better side overall. Got the goal to go ahead. Deemed offside after replays. And then they concede right on half-time. Keane clears it forward from the kick-off. Brought down by Tierney. It was back to Ramsdale, who clears it away. Mike Dean hesitant to blow the whistle as Martinelli will give chase, but Holgate will get there first. Plays it back to Pickford. Takes a touch on the angle. Then clears himself down the left. Tomiyasu to win the header forward. Into no man's land, but it'll be Holgate to take over the situation. Then play it back to Pickford. It goes across to Coleman. And as Mike Dean puts the whistle to his mouth, we are now over for the first 45 minutes of this game. Massive Everton frustration as we end the half. It is Everton 0, Arsenal 1. A game which has been pretty even, if I say so myself. You could say Everton just about edging it in terms of chances and being a bit more direct with possession. But on around the 44th minute mark, a in-swinging Townsend cross was headed on by Richarlison into the far post, but after replay showed that he was offside and the goal was chalked off for the Brazilian. And then right on the 47th minute, after 2 minutes of added on time, which was given by the referee and which was played by the two teams, Tierney got forward like he's been doing all game down that left, worked a cross in And an unmarked Martin Ødegaard gets his goal, and it's now back-to-back goals for the Norwegian. As Arsenal, you could say undeservedly, but deservedly or undeservedly, they've got a lead away at Everton. It's Everton 0, Arsenal 1. Ødegaard with the goal, and that's a real double whammy for Everton, who have been struggling off the pitch and on the pitch in recent months. And going behind like that in a first half, which they've been pretty good in, will be definitely damaging to a run that is now 8 games without a win. It could stretch to 9 if they don't win tonight. And going behind like that will just suck so much confidence out of that Everton team. But they've just got to remember how good they've been in that first half. And they did take the lead, but football is cruel, and it's really showing it there. Everton trail at the break. Wow. Good first half of football, but I didn't expect it to end in that way. Somehow Arsenal are the team that have gone in ahead. After Everton scored on the 44th minute, it was disallowed. And then play continued through added on time. And then a beautifully whipped in cross by Kieran Turner was volleyed home just with perfection by Martin Ødegaard. And he gets another goal in the Premier League, his 3rd of the season. And Arsenal have a lead to protect away at Goodison Park, despite the clear frustrations that there will be at Goodison Park, as they probably feel like they deserve at least to be level at half-time. But they're not, and they have work to do come the second half against this Arteta team, which is a lot harder to beat, like I mentioned in the pre-match build-up. They're a youthful team out at Arsenal, but they are definitely harder to beat now. A lot more structured in their defence. Yeah, like I said, with the public disrest, you could say, within the Everton fans, that protest of leaving the ground on the 27th minute wasn't great from what I saw. People did get up and leave, but it wasn't in the numbers that were big enough to really cause an issue. And yeah, it says here, severe weather warnings issued for most of the UK. Storm Barra is set to make landfall. So my usual job isn't being a weather correspondent, but if you do just want to check your weather for tomorrow, just to make sure you can get to wherever you need to be safe, because it looks like it's being labelled as a weather bomb, according to Chris Page, weatherman. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be icy, it's going to be cold, wet, all of the above really. Snow as well. So yeah, Met Office has issued a yellow warning for snow and rain as Storm Barra moves in. So yeah, just saw that on Twitter and thought, I'll let you know. But yeah, what do you think of the half? If you've been watching it or if you've been listening to what I've been saying, what do we think? If you are new, please like and subscribe. Like I say, more commentaries are hopefully going to be coming up in December. Unfortunately, I don't think I did any in November, but college has been super busy, and they also had COVID as well recently. So I was literally going to do one. I built time to do one when I got COVID, and I got it, and then I had to isolate in my room for 10 days, and I commentate downstairs, so I couldn't prepare for one, and I wasn't really feeling it anyway. But we're back, and like I said, hopefully through December with the packed schedule in the Premier League and over New Year as well, when I'm off, I can fit a load more in. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, so make sure you do like and subscribe as well. But yeah, as well, an incident that did happen, Ben Godfrey stamping on the face of Tomiyasu, that happened in the 28th minute. Oh, you might have heard that through the headset that went on there. It said on co-commentary for Sky that is something that could have been avoided, and I completely agree. Alan tackled Tomiyasu from behind, And as he took the ball away from him, Tomiyasu fell to the ground. Ben Godfrey's there to get that ball away from Tomiyasu, even though he's falling. He just kicks it away. And as his foot's left the ground to try and plant it back down, Godfrey's just clipped the face of Tomiyasu. I don't think he means it, but like it said on Sky, definitely could have been avoided, I think. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. But dangerous play from Godfrey, and he may have got away with one there. Yeah, like I said, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. Well, like I said, it's absolutely heartbreaking for Everton, the fact that they conceded in the 47th minute of the first half after scoring a goal, which was a very good header from Richarlison, but he was just offside, as like I said, as replay showed. See if anyone is saying anything about the Everton protest, because for me it wasn't great. See if anyone's got any. Yeah, nothing's really been saying, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it much of a walkout, to be honest. Yeah, I said this during the commentary of the first half. It says here the majority started singing in the stands instead. They started singing and clapping. So a clear division and split between the Everton players and fans, and between the fans themselves as well. They really need to be careful, Everton, that this doesn't get out of hand, because when you start creating a split amongst fans, that's when it gets a little bit messy. Most important thing is football is keeping the fans happy, and if they're not doing that, then things need to change. Like I said, the sporting director for Everton did leave. I think it was yesterday. But yeah, Liverpool fans definitely mocking that attempted walkout. Well, the intent was there, the reasoning was there, but wasn't really executed that well, unfortunately, from Everton fans. You know, obviously not all of them will hold the same opinion. So, again, there goes the split, but that sucker punch before half-time, conceding after getting a disallowed goal, was really not something that they would have wanted. But it happened. They need to try and rebound in the second half and try and turn it around. That would probably be an even greater achievement if they were able to turn it around against like I said, a very solid Arsenal side. A lot of people debating whether that Ben Godfrey stamp on the face was a red. But the second half will be getting underway in about 2-3 minutes, through 2 or 3 minutes time. But they have got players come off the bench. Everton, likes of Cenk Tosun, Alexa Iwobi, Andre Gomez is returning from injury as well. Maybe not game changes, but maybe players who could give something different for Everton. But like I said, I don't know when the next commentary will be. I really don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. It might be a midweek game coming up in about a week's time. So I cannot. Sorry for the aggression there. I cannot do Arsenal again. I'm not commentating on Arsenal for a while. I've done 3 in a row for Arsenal, not purposefully, just the way it's just panned out. But I'll find one. Just follow the Instagram link in the description and turn on notifications for this channel. Then you'll get notified when I schedule a live stream and a commentary, and then you can go from there as well. But yeah, the Arsenal 3-in-a-row commentaries was definitely unintentional. It's literally whoever was playing on this Monday night was going to be commentated on, even if it was, I don't know, Brentford, Norwich. If that was going to be the game, what I've been dying to do one. I've not done a commentary since the 30th of October. So I've done Arsenal, Aston Villa, Leicester, Arsenal, now Everton, Arsenal. But yeah, we're going to get a change next time, that's for sure. You just look to schedule commentary where you can do the notes, because obviously I do my notes like you've seen before, and that takes a couple of hours. So I've got to schedule that in. Obviously, if I didn't do any notes and I just commentate on games, I'd be doing one like every day, because that's really easy. But I like to do notes, be prepared. I come to these streams informed. So yeah, that's why they're not all the time, because they'd be really easy to do if I just sat here and talked over the game. So yeah, let's just hope for in December and over New Year, while I'm off college, so that I can get a load more done. And supply commentaries for games that people might not be able to watch, or decide to watch another game and they want to have a commentary for maybe one that's going on at the same time. That's completely fine. These streams are not usually there to be watched in a sense. Obviously, you can watch my beautiful face talk over football, but if you I always say this, even if you're on FIFA or something, put me on the background, put me on your table, put my face down. If you don't even want to see my face, you can put it the other way around. Just put it in the background. Or if you're doing something else. I remember a few times people have been cooking and they've been listening to me. So whatever you're doing, stick me on in the background. You don't have to physically watch me. You can just have me on in the background and listen to it instead. But here comes the Sky Sports Christmas football advert. I think it's nearly the same as last year's. The snowing white footballs from the sky. Christmas is for football. Over 60 live games from the 27th of January to from the 27th of November to the 7th of January. That's 60 live games. Wow. That's a lot. It's a lot of football. The second half is going to get underway in literally a minute's time, as Arsenal look to defend their lead and stop Everton from going 9 unbeaten, which is pretty mad. 9 without a win, sorry, not 9 unbeaten, 9 without a win. I think I've been saying unbeaten by accident. 9 without a win for Everton. And also next Sunday, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the standoff, Hamilton versus Verstappen. Great race. It was just an absolute crazy race yesterday. I wouldn't even know how to put it into words, to be honest. I'm a big F1 fan. New F1 fan, I will admit. I'm not going to sit here and say I've been watching the sport since I've been born. I've only got into it properly this season, my first season of watching it, but yeah, great sport. Could understand why people might not like it, but I didn't like it as well until you get into it and you learn about it and you learn the ins and outs. Then well, for me anyway, I developed a love for it, really. I'm a big McLaren fan. Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris, my drivers. So that's big, because obviously you definitely would have seen, if you follow sport Instagram pages, it was all over them getting on the F1 bandwagon to try and get some likes, because it just went crazy yesterday due to just the way the race went. It was just like, what is going on? But yeah, back to the football anyway. Rafa Benitez is back on the Everton bench. He's got a lot of things to sort out. His main priority is just for today, trying to get Everton the 3 points against Everton. They did take a lead undeserved. That can be debated, but they took the lead nonetheless. And Everton have got the mountain to climb in this second half at home at Goodison Park. They'll be looking to try and move to their new Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, it will be named. New stadium that is set to be built. They have been given permission for it. They'll be moving away from Goodison Park. As teams are back out, it'll be Everton kicking left to right, Arsenal kicking from right to left. Allen playing it back to Michael Keane, who will go diagonally to the right-hand side for Everton towards Richarlison. Loses that to Kieran Turner. His header falls to Coleman. Loops it over the top, looking for Richarlison, who can't get there ahead of Gabriel, but his header goes out for a throw-in for Everton. And it'll be Coleman to take. Quick start for Everton. Anthony Gordon tries to flick it back inside. It goes only as far as Ødegaard. Thomas Partey. Ball forward. and in behind, looking for Martinelli. It will be Holgate to get there. It's a poor back pass with the header, but it's Michael Keane who just about gets to the end of it and then helps it on forward to, helps it back to Pickford, who can then go forward towards Damari Gray, who's been caught there, but Mike Dean sees nothing wrong with it. As Everton do continue with Andros Townsend linking up with Michael Keane, he's then brought down by Thomas Partey just inside the Arsenal half, and then play will be stopped and Damari Gray can get some medical attention. He's clearly hurt here. He stayed down, Damari Gray. Ice pack straight on. I think it's like the left calf almost. I think he'll be okay. Just think he took maybe a knee into the hamstring. Let's have a look. Goes up for the aerial battle with Tomiyasu. Yeah, his knee just goes right into his backside. Painful one. Never nice. Just a bit of ice on it and he'll be okay. Definitely not something that will make him come off, but never nice. A bony knee straight up the backside. And with Michael Keane to take the free kick that Andros Townsend did win while Damari Gray was on the ground. Another diagonal switch to the right-hand side. Gordon, first time cross. It's looping into the 6-yard area where Ramsdale would put under pressure and he has to tip it over the bar. Richarlison was putting pressure on him. And as it looped into the sky, Ramsdale did not want to take any chances of maybe dropping it. So he just shoved it over the bar, taking the precautionary action. Richarlison didn't foul and didn't really touch him, but I think Ramsdale just thought, keep it safe. Rather be safe than sorry. Might be sorry though if they score from this corner, Everton. Gray, near post, helped on by Granit Xhaka. Falls back to the corner taker. Gray shifts it onto his right foot, goes for the cross, and it's collected by Ramsdale. Everton players were ready if there was any spillage there from Ramsdale as he distributes out to Saka on the right, takes on Allen, just about keeps it in as he enters the Everton half. Ødegaard inside, finds him. First time passing to Granit Xhaka, who's been tripped over by Allen. And Xhaka does win the foul. And the free kick for his side. Partey. Back it goes to Gabriel. Tierney tries to take on Gordon. Loses out in the right back area of Everton. And they clear it out for a throw-in for Arsenal. Coleman not able to keep it in. As you look down the Everton right channel. Kieran Turner to take the throw-in, the number 3. Ødegaard, who's had a good game so far, not just the goal, but linking up the play between Arsenal's defence and attack. Ben White marauds forward. Lays it into Tomiyasu. White. Saka. Clips it back towards Gabriel, who volleys it back forward. Keane with the header. Falls to Richarlison, who chests it down. Has a bit of time and space. Can he find a pass here? He looks to get beyond Saka. Drills in towards Gray. Loses out in the end, and Ødegaard's the one who brings it away for Everton. For Arsenal. After Everton's been a bit sloppy with possession. Thomas Partey strides forward. Has the ball here. Thomas Partey started now 10 of the last 11 Premier League games. 35th Premier League appearance for the man who formerly played under Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Won a league title there. Won a Europa League as well. Thomas Partey. Martinelli feeds Xhaka again. Partey back to halfway with Gabriel. As Arsenal just keep possession. 5 minutes into the second half. Still 1-0 Arsenal. Poor ball from Ben White. Easily picked up by Godfrey, who goes strongly in on Saka. It's going to be a booking for the young Englishman. He may have got the ball, but he went really strong there on Saka. He's done that a few times today, Godfrey, and got away with it. Oh, just about misses the ball as he goes for it and then stomps on the foot of Saka with his studs, which is never nice. Godfrey, third booking. closing up to 50 appearances for Everton. Ben Godfrey, he's on 49 tonight. Hobbling away from the challenge there, Saka. He's had a few late ones on him, both by Godfrey. First half they clattered knees, and then now he studded Saka's foot. Really feeling the impact of it. Bukayo Saka. As Ødegaard's got a free kick here, where pretty much Townsend swung it in for Richarlison, where he scored. He's put it in. Header won by Holgate. All as far as Xhaka on the edge. Loses bearings of the ball, and Coleman can work a clearance. All as far. Saka is tripped again. Free kick on the left-hand side this time. I think it's another chance for a cross. And again, Saka feeling another painful contact. Really been in the walls today, Bukayo Saka. Could be a shooting chance here. It's around 26 yards out. The angle's not great. It's a bit too far over to the left. For a dangerous strike, it would take some hit to do it. Pickford's gone for a three-man wall. Ødegaard's over it. It'd be Lacazette, the more favourable man to shoot if he was the right-footed option. But Ødegaard is a bit of a master at set pieces. He does leave it for Ødegaard. He goes for a cross instead. Towards Gabriel's unmarked, and the header straight towards Pickford. Should have done better with it though, Gabriel. Don't know how on earth he was unmarked at the far post there. Simple ball in by Ødegaard, nothing too special. And helped on by Gabriel. But not enough to cause any real issues. Gordon heads it forward. Xhaka gets there, hooks it away with the left boot from the left back area. Allen's the one to get onto it. Townsend, forward to Gordon. Finds Decore just on the edge of the box, enters the box, left foot, touch is too heavy. Gabriel can poke it away. And it will fall out for a throw-in for Ben Godfrey on the left-hand side for Everton. Remember, they are only trailing by 1, so it's not the end of the world. It's definitely doable to get back in this game. Richarlison receives the throw-in. Touches it out to Damari Gray. Tries to work it into the box towards Townsend, cleared away by Thomas Partey. And it will go out for a throw-in for Everton on the halfway, taken quickly by Holgate as he throws it back to Pickford to try and keep the ball rolling. Goes towards the right-hand side for Everton. Gordon leaves it as he's coming back from an offside position. Throw-in for Arsenal on the left, taken quickly by Kieran Turner for Gabriel. Known for being good in the air, Gabriel, but that time with a header, his header wasn't strong enough at all. As they've worked out well from the back here, including Gabriel. It's Tierney the one who brings it out in the end. Tomiyasu. Gabriel on the right. Really hasn't had the impact that he would have liked to have. Gabriel. Martinelli. Xhaka. Thomas Partey. Zip ball into Ødegaard. First time touch out wide to Tomiyasu, who's joining the attack. It's a little bit slowed down as he goes back to the halfway line with Ben White. Xhaka. Through to Lacazette. Clip ball into Martinelli. Touches it out wide for Tomiyasu, who'll be able to keep it in. Works across. It's a dangerous one. Good header by Michael Keane at the near post. Thomas Partey gets it around 30 yards out. Goes across to Granit Xhaka. Works to Tierney. He's already got one assist. He puts in another dangerous cross. Right across the 6-yard area. Martinelli tried to get on it. Didn't really get anywhere near it in the end. And it will fall all the way across for an Everton throw-in. Lovely ball in, though, by Kieran Turner. Like I said, he's already got one assist to his name in tonight's game for the Ødegaard goal on the 47th minute of the first half. Godfrey, who heads away. Gray can't keep it in. Be thrown for Arsenal, and Ben White, who throws it towards Tomiyasu for him to take. Tomiyasu looking for an option. Finds Ødegaard. Saka. Tomiyasu. Thomas Partey. Just to go back towards Granit Xhaka, who's again coming back from an injury and doing very well, starting straight from the off. Ben White just about gets it over towards Gabriel, then has to go back into Ben White as they're being forced back here, Arsenal, through the Everton press, which the Everton fans are impressed with. Cleared by Ramsdale. Header won by Michael Keane. Brought down by Allen. Loses out to Thomas Partey. Ødegaard into Lacazette. Across it goes to Tierney as an Everton player stayed down here. Tierney chops in. Then goes back out towards Ødegaard. Right hand side is Tomiyasu. Everton have got back in a good shape. Tomiyasu, weak-footed cross over to the far post where Tierney just nods it down for Xhaka. Tries to find Tierney with a gap through. That gap is cut off by Seamus Coleman. Tries to get a clearance upfield. It does fall to Richarlison after avoiding Doucouré. And there's a real chance here for Everton. Doucouré striding forward. He's got options. Looks to try and play through Damari Gray. Great block by Ben White. And Arsenal survivors. It's slammed away out for a throw-in for Everton. That was done by Granit Xhaka. Michael Keane for Everton. He's got 8 appearances versus Arsenal and the 1 win. Back in the home win last December against Arsenal as Richarlison's been played in by Doucouré. Front post finish, and I don't think this one will be chalked off. Richarlison checks the linesman to make sure this one will stand. And after getting a disallowed goal in the first half, he's now got his goal in the second. Equaliser for Everton. You could probably say he's deserved for Richarlison. It's his second goal against Arsenal. His last one came in a 3-2 away loss in the 2019-2020 season. Played through, I think he's been played onside by the right boot of Gabriel. Played in by Doucouré. On the angle. Oh, they're checking really marginal offsides here. This would be really harsh on Richarlison to get 2 disallowed. Good finish though at the near post to get it beyond Ramsdale. For me, if you give the benefit of the doubt to the striker, that's not really offside. That'd be very harsh to give. Like I said, great ball threaded through by Doucouré, who would be picking up his 5th assist of the season in all competitions. Richarlison will be getting his 3rd Premier League goal. It's a really tight decision. I'd personally give that as onside if you're giving the benefit of the doubt to the striker. It's too close to call. Oh, they give it offside. They've given it offside. I think that's just a bit too close. Everton have conceded 1 goal. They have scored 2 themselves, but are losing the game 1-0. Football is a funny, funny game. Richarlison offside. Just went a bit too early. Gabriel must have kept the line just about right. Richarlison frustrated. So is every single fan left in the Everton ground that do support the team in blue. Good finish, like I said, to get it beyond Aaron Ramsdale at the near post. The players and fans have seen it on the screen, seeing just how close the offside call was. And we do remain 1-0 to Arsenal, just over half an hour to go. But Everton will feel really hard done by here. Not just after a good performance, but they've met that good performance with 2 goals, which have been marginally offside through Richarlison. One at one end, one at the other. Does remain 1-0. Saka at the right wing for Arsenal. As it will be a real blow if Arsenal go and score a second now, like they did in the first half. Ben White working out from the back. Tomiyasu, good ball down the line for Ødegaard. Again, peeling out to the right-hand side. He's been a great player today, Ødegaard. He looks to feed it through to Martinelli. He's going to get there ahead of Pickford. Tries to go round him tight on the angle. He tries to lob it towards goal, and it goes onto the roof of the net. Great vision there from Ødegaard. He's been everywhere in that midfield for Arsenal, linking it all together, like I said before. As he picks it up on the right-hand side, he saw Martinelli making a diagonal run, caught the offside trap napping. Coleman wasn't quick enough. And as he got there ahead of Pickford, he was on a really tight angle. I think he just tried to clip it in the box to see if anyone would get on the end of it. But he ended up hitting the roof of the net. And Everton survive. Deja vu. Thomas Partey wins the header from the Pickford goal kick. Helped on by Gabriel, the centre-back. Godfrey it will fall to as he's pressured by Saka. Won back by Ødegaard, as far as Michael Keane, who brings it forward and lobs it up towards Richarlison, who will not beat Gabriel to the ball. And it will roll through to Aaron Ramsdale. Spent time at Bolton at his youth. He only conceded the 2 losses this season in 11 for Arsenal in the Premier League, alongside 6 clean sheets, 3 at home, 3 away. He's conceded 2 today. He is on track for a clean sheet. Martinelli hooks it to Lacazette, brings it down in the midfield, but loses that in the end, and it falls to Townsend, who's clipped from behind by Lacazette. And that will be a free kick for Everton on the halfway line. He tries to take it quickly, and he plays it straight into the feet of Tierney. Not really what was intended by Andros Townsend. It's now with Ben White at the back line for Arsenal. Tomiyasu on the halfway has to go back into Ben White, the former Brighton man. He's also 1 away from 50 Premier League appearances now. This is at Premier League appearance number 49. 36 for Brighton, 13 for Arsenal. He's starting to gain experience in the top division in the English game. Thomas Partey, around 40 yards away from goal. Works it out wide to Saka on the right. Sticking up Godfrey one-on-one and works across into Martinelli, headed away by Holgate. Does fall to the Frenchman of Abdoulaye Doucouré. Sees an onrushing Anthony Gordon on the right and will feed it to him as he charges down the right here, really making up ground here for Everton. Chops inside and gets really badly taken out there by Granit Xhaka. The most obvious yellow card you'll see all season. Completely blocks off Gordon as he's beaten his man and looked to try and cause a dangerous attack there for Everton. Nice little chop inside, a bit Ronaldo-esque. Like I said, back from injury. But Xhaka hasn't lost his natural wits of taking out players tactically when needs be. That is now Mike Dean's 29th yellow card of the season. 1 away from 30. He's given 1 to Godfrey and 1 to Granit Xhaka. So 1 apiece. Can Townsend put a cross in here to make it 1 apiece for Everton? They've scored 2 already. Both ruled out for offside. Will this one stand if they can get it in the box correctly? No, they can't. Townsend plays it somehow beyond everyone and behind everyone. And a goal kick it'll be for Arsenal. Not good enough that from Townsend. We know how good he is with that left foot. We saw it in the first half when he assisted Richarlison's first disallowed goal. But that offside is so close and marginal. It's a tough one. It's a bitter pill for Everton to swallow, that's for sure. Ball forward. Header won by Holgate, but it's backwards, and Coleman heads it forward. Brought down by Ødegaard. Shapes it out to Saka. Tomiyasu completes the 1-2 now with Saka as he gets it to him down the line in the right wing area. Godfrey being strong in the challenge, but can't get it away from the young English winger. And he lays it into Thomas Partey. Chips it over to Ødegaard. Good flick from Saka into Lacazette. Tries to find Ødegaard, who enters the box, but it's been dispossessed. But then they lose it again here with Arsenal winning it back, but it's illegally done by Lacazette. Barged into an Everton man. Free kick 1 for Everton as they look for an equaliser, which seems like they should already have, but 2 offside calls has changed that. Tierney returning from injury, getting his first minutes since his injury picked up about a month ago. This is his first minutes that he's got in the last 6. Last 6 games he'd picked up 0 minutes at all, not him coming off the bench. 65 in the tank now for Tierney. And he'll be replaced by Nuno Tavares, who's had a good season. Sometimes a little bit sloppy on the ball. That was shown at Anfield when under real pressure. But Tierney back in the fold, back in the starting 11, getting a good 65 minutes. An assist as well for the only goal so far of the game that has stood. And he will be replaced by Nuno Tavares, signed from Benfica, who he spent 6 years at from 2015 to 2021. Only bought for 8 million. He has excellent pace getting forward. Confident young player who is unfazed by any challenge, especially going forward. And will not have to face Andros Townsend as he's gone off. He was playing on the right-hand side. He's been replaced by Andre Gomez, so a winger off and a central midfielder on. So I wonder what changes that will mean for Everton tactically and positionally. Back underway. Gordon heads on towards Decore. Loses out to Granit Xhaka. Holgate lifts it in behind. Gordon will give chase in the box. Gabriel will just about hurry it away with a clearance. Everton throwing. It looks like they're going to pack out the midfield. Go for a 4-2-3-1 maybe, or a 4-5-1. Gordon and Gray being the outright wingers. Coleman throws it into Decore on the byline. Can he work a corner? That is a corner. Oh, and he's not given... Oh, he has given it. As Decore tries to get the fans going. On the byline, he was met with Granit Xhaka, and he did win a corner. Rightfully so. Attacking the home end here. Everton, they could do with a goal. Definitely deserve one. They've had the ball in the back of the net twice. Ramsdale trying to command his area. Outswing the ball in from Gray. It's a good cross, helped on by Michael Keane. Will be controlled by Anthony Gordon, who was offside as the header was won by Michael Keane. Mark Scholes is the linesman who's give it. Let's have a look. Good ball into Keane. Didn't quite direct it towards goal, and yet didn't push out Anthony Gordon in the end, and was caught offside in the 6-yard area. Gordon, number 24 for Everton. Tavares getting his first few touches, and he's played it against Taylor. Gordon. I think of Anthony Taylor, the ref, then, for some reason. Get me refs mixed up. Gordon intercepts, throwing for Nuno Tavares to take. Gets it into Xhaka, who can volley it away and up toward Lacazette, who's dragged down Allen. Nothing given by the referee. It's now Ødegaard. Over to Lacazette. Lots of room and men over here for Arsenal on the right. He works it to Saka. Tomiyasu's bombing down the right-hand side. Does find the Japanese international. Looks for a pullback in the box. Dealt with well by Holgate. Clears it away. Up to Richarlison on the left, just inside the Arsenal half. Has to play it back instead to Michael Keane instead of going forward. There wasn't really any options on, though. Godfrey can't quite cut inside on Saka. Gabriel. Tavares, the left-back. Placing assistant giver Tierney. Martinelli clipped there by Andre Gomez as he tried to get away from the Portuguese midfielder. So Gabriel Martinelli has been slightly quiet. Before starting the Manchester United game, he had gone 11 games without a start, but now back-to-back starts for him with the drop-off of form of Aubameyang. He now has a chance. Pickford now has it. Hands on the ball. Arsenal give it away really sloppily in the end. As Martinelli, speaking of the Devils, gone down with cramp. He's played just under 69 minutes and he's somehow gone down with cramp. I am smelling a little bit of game management here as Arteta has summoned his players over to give them tactical information. I have a slight feeling this may have been planned, and it allows for Eddie Nketiah to get ready to come on. Like I said, before the United match, Eddie Nketiah, who's had contract struggles, hadn't even been in the matchday squad until that United game, and then for the United game he did get off of the bench and play 15 minutes where he replaced Captain Aubameyang. He's now going to get back-to-back appearances, as it does look like his contract issues are going to be unsolvable. It does look like he will be leaving the club as soon as possible, Eddie Nketiah. In his previous 39 appearances, he's got 5 goals in the Premier League. One of them have come against Everton. Came in a 3-2 win back in February 2020, the one which Richarlison scored his only goal against Arsenal. Coleman taking action against Mike Dean and telling him that he's taking the mickey here. Martinelli, I don't think there's anything wrong with him, or they have to at least try and get him off the pitch if possible. "20 minutes plus added on time to go. Still 1-0 Arsenal. 2 disallowed goals for offside, though, for Richarlison means Everton could be in the lead currently, but it just shows how things really aren't going the way of the Toffees at the minute. Martinelli starting to now walk off with one of the physios. See if he will be the one who's going to be replaced by Eddie Nketiah. He will be. Martinelli coming off for Nketiah. We know the potential Martinelli has, just hasn't been his night. Just not quite being able to get into the game like he would have liked. But I'm sure we'll see more goals come from that man very soon. But tonight, like I said, just wasn't his night, and he will be replaced by Eddie Nketiah. Gordon's flicked it on towards Decore. He's going to chase it towards the byline. He's dragged down Gabriel, pulling at his arm. Referee does give a foul, and then Gabriel's gone down after it. Everton fans really, really frustrated with that. He's gone down about 5 seconds after the pull on his arm. Gabriel's pulling his shirt. 50-50. No foul for me. Gabriel's got a massive chunk of Decore's shirt, and then he just pulls his arm, and then Gabriel falls and wins the free kick. And Gabriel's gone down and stayed down. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. Alan's fuming at the linesman. Gabriel stayed down. He's going to be helped up by international teammate Richarlison. Yet to play for Brazil, though. Senior team. Gabriel, at the age now of 23. A run from 2007 December to March of 2014. Everton failed to win a single game in all competitions against Arsenal. It lasted 14 games. It had 5 draws and 9 losses, which included losses that had 2 4-1 defeats and a 6-1 defeat in that 7-year run of no victories against Arsenal. Did win the last game between these two sides in late April of 2021 in the midst of the Super League protests by Arsenal fans. As Mike Dean is really making his point across that Eddie Nketiah just wasn't fouled there. But Arsenal are without winning their last 3 trips to Goodison Park. Will that change, or will Everton put the ball in the net in a way that makes it stand and not be caught offside? As Tavares, again, another poor pass, but the deflection off the passes saved him there. But then Granit Xhaka's passed it out and given it away for a throw-in. Coleman throws it in quickly to Decore. Back into Coleman on the far right, on the halfway. He goes back to Holgate. Across to Michael Keane. Gomez, off of the bench, back on after being injured. Allen, 50-50 with Thomas Partey. Loops in the air and he's been brought down by Saka. He's been dragged down by Andre Gomez. It'll be a free kick for Arsenal. Gomez will be a little bit rusty, I believe. He's not played the last 9 games with a calf injury. Formerly of Barcelona, Andre Gomez. 3-year stint there. Before that, he was bought by Barcelona from Valencia as Ødegaard's been yellow carded for time wasting. Michael Keane down the line to Gomez, gets there ahead of the sliding Thomas Partey, kicks off the Ghanaian out for a throw-in for Everton. As Ødegaard's had a fantastic game tonight, has gone into the book. Picked up his 5th goal for Arsenal today. Martin Ødegaard with a lovely left-footed volleyed finish. Just over 15 minutes to go, plus adding on time for Rafa Benitez to try and at least get a point. It won't be a win. It will keep that winless run of 8 games proceeding to 9. Duncan Ferguson on the bench watching on. Ødegaard's ball forward, cut out by Allen, tripped by Ødegaard. Allen wins the free kick. He'll look to try and take it quickly if possible. He leaves it though for one of his defenders on the halfway to take. Everton in the Premier League have had the joint most home defeats, 10. That could go to 11. They're level with Wolves for home defeats this year in 2021. They lose out in the midfield battle again. Granit Xhaka though, pass is asking too much of him. Anthony Gordon picks it up, needs to release it, waits too long. Lacazette doing his defensive duty to win it back, then lost as a zip ball into Thomas Partey, couldn't be controlled. It's now back in Everton possession. Diagonal ball out wide right towards Decore. We'll never win the header there on Nuno Tavares. We'll fall back into Everton feet with Allen, the former Napoli man, through to Demarai Gray. Tries to jinx past Ødegaard, but the misplaced ball does fall to Decore. Looks for Coleman on the right, just about keeps it in on the corner flag. Loses out though in the end to Tavares. Met by a heavy challenge. And Gordon with a very strong challenge leaves one on him, Tavares, and that is very much liked by the Everton faithful. Won the ball, Gordon, but I think just caught Tavares late after winning the ball. Let's have a look. Tavares got away from Coleman. Ball was there to be won for both. They both went for it. Oh no, that's a foul. How is he not giving that? Tavares got there ahead of Gordon and kicked the ball out. And then Tavares was caught late there by the studs there of Gordon. That's a nasty one, that. Obviously liked by the Everton fans because it just shows that someone's getting stuck in. But that was a bit of a late one, and has to be careful, Anthony Gordon. I'm surprised that wasn't a free kick. Gabriel heads away. Doesn't Nketiah chest it down, met by the left foot of Allen. He works it to Gray, cutting in from the left. Working it out wide right to Coleman. Gordon. Cross, it's inviting. But it's an easy catch for Ramsdale, who's not happy with his defender, who's not closed the cross down. Really not happy with the press to get out to the cross there from Nuno Tavares. Ramsdale believes that that cross could have easily been avoided. But Tavares is clearly holding a knock still from the Gordon challenge. Kicked upfield by Ramsdale. Header won by Holgate. Chested down by Andre Gomez. Gets away from Ødegaard as they advance through the Arsenal half. Gets it back from Gray. Gomez just can't quite get there ahead of Thomas Partey, who tracks back really well and clears away for an Everton throw-in, which has been taken quickly by Allen. Gomez, first time touch around the corner. It'll be Godfrey to chase. Tomiyasu will get that first. He'll try and see it out for a goal kick, and he'll do that successfully. Great signing, Tomiyasu at the age of 22. Right now, don't comment it, just think. Who do you think Takahiro Tomiyasu's idol was when he was younger? Don't comment it. Just think. Who could have been his idol? And I guarantee you will not get it. I'll give you a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He idolised Javier Mascherano, formerly of Liverpool on the other side of Merseyside, compared to Everton, and more well known for his good work in Barcelona. Yeah, that's who he idolised his game off, Javier Mascherano. Decore's been fed through by Michael Keane, can't quite complete a successful 1-2. Tavares has it, Xhaka turns down the left. Deflected stuff, Gordon, throwing for Arsenal. Tavares throws it into Thomas Partey, back into Tavares, asking a lot of the young left back, and they've won it back here. Everton. Andre Gomez gets it from Richarlison. Gomez looks to try and release a strike on the edge of the box, blocked by Ben White, and then Demarai Gray slams the crossbar, and Richarlison on the rebound. He scored a hat-trick. Only 2 of them have been disallowed, but I think this one will finally stand. Richarlison is absolutely buzzing. More a sense of relief than of joy. Arsenal making their own troubles, not working out from the back. Gomez got it on the edge, tried a shot, blocked. It worked then to Demarai Gray, who then had a shot, cannon the crossbar, then fell out to Richarlison, who really superbly directed a header back towards goal as Ramsdale couldn't recover in time from the attempted save from the Gray shot. Richarlison did really well. Unlucky for Gray, hit the bar, actually saved onto the bar by Ramsdale. What a save. And as it came off the crossbar, Richarlison reacted quickest, adjusted his body, leapt just high enough to get the header on target into the far corner. And like I said, despite scoring a hat-trick of goals, one of them have stood, and it's Everton 1, Arsenal 1, 10 minutes to go, and justice for Richarlison. And they look to attack again. Gomez to Gray. Back into Gomez, who has made a difference. He gets it on the byline on the left. chops it back, tries to play it across, blocked by Ben White. Probably should have put up some height on it, but it's a throw-in for Everton. Their tails are now up. They finally got that goal that has been allowed to stand. 2 offside calls on Richarlison. Previously declined for a goal, but that time he wasn't offside. It was a very expertly put in header. He's got the ball here, tries to cross it, blocked off Tomiyasu. Ødegaard tries to clear, not allowed to. Allen picks it up, tries to drive inside, and he does do so. He's getting the Everton fans going. Oh, he gets beyond Thomas Partey as well. Works across, straight into the hands, unfortunately, of Ramsdale as it was deflected off Tomiyasu. And Ramsdale quickly rolls it out to Tavares. Inside it goes to Partey in his own half. Pokes out to Tomiyasu. Having to channel his inner Javier Mascherano now. Fed through nicely to Lacazette. Goes on once more to Nketiah, who's not really done much since coming off the bench. Does pull it back though to Ødegaard. Free for a shot. Good block from Godfrey. And Everton can work it out. Throwing for Arsenal as Gordon's touches poor. Great block though from Godfrey. Somehow from the cut back from Nketiah. Ødegaard was left unmarked from about 14 yards out. Tried the shot, but Godfrey flew out to it and put his body on the line. But there might be some more defending to do now for Everton. Partey through to Ødegaard again. He's got a free chance to shoot in the box. Tackled fairly by Gray. And Pickford comes out and clears it down the left-hand side channel. Richarlison will give chase on Ben White as it enters the Arsenal half. And he falls over with the touch. And it will be an Everton throw-in. As I think play's just going to slow down a little bit here. Give everyone a bit of a breather. What a chance for Ødegaard. He hits it first time. Great block, though, by the former Norwich man, Ben Godfrey. It's actually a throw-in for Arsenal further down the pitch as the Pickford clearance did go out of play and then return back into play. So Xhaka in the Everton half. Ødegaard on the right wing. Gets it back inside to Saka. Then once more to Xhaka. Through to Lacazette. Tackled then by Holgate. And it falls to Richarlison. The break's on. Gordon steaming forward. Tries to release it towards him. It's a half-decent ball, though, from Richarlison. Gordon went right. The ball went left. Lost again in translation. And no goal for Everton. And Arsenal will look to come forward now. I feel like it will be a bit of a basketball match now between the two sides. As Nketiah cuts in from the left. Plays it over to Xhaka. Through to Nketiah again in the box. Onto his right foot. He's getting allowed. Oh, he had a chance to shoot, but didn't. Tried to go across Coleman, who wins the ball and clears. Goes past Tavares. Then goes to Gabriel, and Everton have to defend again. Partey. Saka. Can he work it onto his stronger left foot from the right-hand side? Goes back to Tomiyasu. Partey, about 30 yards away from goal. Surrounded by blue shirts. Do work it to Saka, though, on the right. Against Godfrey. Few step overs and a lovely cross towards Nketiah. Oh, how has he missed? From literally 3 yards out, his headers hit the post. Cannon back off the post onto him and wide. And Arsenal have missed their chance to go back into the lead. Great work from Saka, working the cross in a tight area. Oh, and Nketiah, that is a heroic miss for the Everton fans to watch. That is literally what opposition fans preach off. Misses from yards out. That is embarrassing. Arsenal fans will be more than angry. I'm not even exaggerating. On the far post from about 3 yards out, he's headed it off the post, back off of him, and wide. And it looks like there's been a change. Aubameyang's on. His fresh legs are up front as Lacazette comes off. Decent game for him. Not quite been able to get many shots away. But in terms of hold-up play and tracking back, he's put a shift in Lacazette. As it looks like goalless Aubameyang for the last 5 games comes on. Does have 4 in 13 Prem matches. He was joint goal scorer, top goal scorer in the 2018-2019 season in the Premier League with 22. Alongside Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. Saka again on the right, causing a lot of trouble there for Godfrey. Linking with Martin Ødegaard, who's really put in a shift to maybe get a start ahead of Smith Rowe, who's currently not in the squad tonight due to injury. Ødegaard. Tomiyasu. Great ball. Into switching ball. Oh, nutmeg from Saka. Getting beyond Decore. 25 yards out. He fancies a strike which has been deflected into the hands of Jordan Pickford. Looks like former Arsenal man Alex Iwobi will be coming on to try and make the difference for Everton. He was on the bench for Everton's last game against Liverpool, but his last goal and his only goal of the season came against Wolves in the last time Everton played on a Monday night. Godfrey's been caught, Holgate's been caught late there in the face, and the free kick's been given as one of these sides looks like they may nick it, but could be a draw as well. As Iwobi will be replacing youngster Anthony Gordon, who's put a real shift in the 20-year-old. 33 appearances now for Everton's senior team, yet to score, but he really does show the work rate, does Gordon. Did make his first Premier League start against Liverpool in June of 2020 in a 0-0 draw. He's coming on leaps and bounds since then, gaining a lot of experience, putting a good shift tonight, and he'll be replaced by former Arsenal man Alex Iwobi. He did spend a lot of time at the club, nephew of JJ Okocha. And in 3 previous appearances against Arsenal, he has won, drawn, and lost. He was able to also rack up 100 Premier League appearances for Arsenal as well before leaving. Pickford, ball looking towards Andre Gomez, misses him, rolls out for a throw-in for Arsenal right into towards the corner flag in the right back area for Arsenal, as they conceded 3 goals tonight, but only 1 is officially stood. And they're just scraping a 1-1 draw here. Holgate heads it back forward after Xhaka trying to clear. Decore on the left. Can't play it forward to Richarlison. Deflects off an Arsenal man. Throwing it for Godfrey. And he wants to try and take it quickly. Does go towards Gray. Lifts it back to restart now and recycle it with Mason Holgate. Who has to just slam it forward after pressure from Aubameyang. It's a teasing ball here for Richarlison, who will chase, but it'll be Ramsdale to come out and collect. Confident goalkeeping from the former Bournemouth and Sheffield United man. Ramsdale out to Gabriel in the left centre-back position. Tavares tries to help it down the line, does avoid Iwobi, held up by Nketiah, and then loses out off Seamus Coleman. Iwobi back to Holgate. He's done well since replacing Mina in the first half after coming off with an injury. Slotted into the game straight away, Mason Holgate, which isn't easy to do at the Premier League, such a quick, speedy level. Pickford's perfect kick out to Demarai Gray into Andre Gomez has also made a difference. Good bit of energy from the Portuguese midfielder. And he plays it to Richarlison. He's got in between the lines here and he's got a bit of room. Going to run at Gabriel and he runs straight into the Brazilian centre-back after a heavy touch. Then Arsenal can come away with it. Ødegaard peels out to the right-hand side. Again, he's going to try and link up with Saka. Decides to go backwards instead to Tomiyasu. 90 seconds left of the 90. Tomiyasu looks for a ball in behind for Saka, will give chase. Won't get there. Met stride for stride by Ben Godfrey, who's been fouling Saka all game and close to getting a red card in half an hour of this game after standing on the face of Tomiyasu. But he's born City York, and he played for York as well. Godfrey got 10% of Everton transfer fee that they paid for Godfrey from Norwich. Spent 5 years at the club, Godfrey, where he was born in York. So that would have been some good funds for his local side. As Decore gets on again, winning the midfield battle and gets a strike away in the box. Tight angle, was never going to beat Ramsdale from there. Will we find a winner? Rolls out to Thomas Partey. Played forward to Xhaka, who's going to get the full 90 minutes under his belt. First game back from injury. Been out for a couple months after picking up an injury against Tottenham in the North London derby. Nketiah missed that glaring opportunity about 5 minutes ago from about 3 yards out. Header hitting the post. Aubameyang had a similar miss against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, but that was with his foot instead. Wonder how much will be added on. Halfway line is Gabriel. Across he goes to Ben White. 5 seconds left. We'll be finding out how long it's going to be added on. Six minutes. Am I reading that right from afar? I am. 6 minutes of added on time. Will we see a winner? Richarlison's had a hat-trick of goals, but 2 have been ruled out for offside, and that was the first 2. Within that, Arsenal took a 1-0 lead. And Nketiah, he's fed it through to Ødegaard, who got that first goal, caught onto his left foot. What a block again! Seamus Coleman this time. Ødegaard should have scored. Great vision from Nketiah to see Ødegaard free in the box on his own. Fed it to the Norwegian, got it onto his left foot, went for the shot. Military defending there from Coleman, throwing his body in the way of it. And Ødegaard could have got a brace and led his team to 3 points. But it is Arsenal back in possession. Tavares sprinting forward again, showing that way of just how he's unfazed when attacking, especially to try to take on players. Saka. Back to Tomiyasu. We've played 1 minute of the 6 added on. Ben White gets beyond Decore and Richarlison. Good run forward. And he's going to try and feed it through towards Aubameyang. Cut out by Holgate. And cleared by Allen. Not very convincingly, but Gomez will get there ahead of Xhaka. Cutting one way, then the other. And playing out wide left to Gray. Met by a round of applause by the Everton fans. He's got the overlap of Decore. He cuts inside on his right. He's going to keep going. He's going to shoot as well. What a goal, Demarai Gray. The shirt's come off. He's Everton's hero, and they've done it, and it's so well deserved. The fans go completely wild as they've nicked it and added on time. After scoring in the 44th minute of the first half, it was disallowed, and then Arsenal in the 2nd minute of added on time scored to take the lead. And now in the second half, Everton have scored in the 2nd minute of added on time to take the lead themselves. And it's Everton 2, Arsenal 1, and it's nothing more than they've deserved. On the whole, it's been a pretty balanced game, but when it comes to attacking and looking threatful, Everton just about nudged it in their favour. Demarai Gray, what a player, cutting in like he did for Richarlison's goal, but that time he hit the bar and Richarlison was able to convert the rebound with a header, but that time he didn't need any help of a rebound. Arrows off the post, into the net. Ramsdale with no chance, he didn't even dive for it in the end. And it looks like after scoring 4 goals in this game, 2 of them will stand for Everton, and it's enough for the win. They are 8 without a win in the Premier League. It looks like that long run of pain may come to an end. That Nketiah miss on the 85th minute now is looking a lot worse for wear. Off the post from a yard or 2 out. It was so poor. 3 minutes played. Everton 2, Arsenal 1. Demarai Gray is just the shining light of such a poor run of games. It's back-to-back goals for him now. He scored in the Merseyside derby. He's now scored in this game against Arsenal. Holgate heads away a diagonal ball in from Xhaka. Looks as far as Thomas Partey. Nketiah around the corner. It goes to Nuno Tavares. Down the line for Nketiah to chase. Coleman will get there and clear into the Arsenal crowd. And what a game it's been at Goodison. Like I said, Arsenal have just not been on Everton's level. 5th goal of the season for Demarai Gray. Like I said, before the Liverpool goal, he'd gone 9 without one in the Premier League. But now he's back-to-back. He's back on form. What a bargain from Bayer Leverkusen. 1.7 million. And he's paid every single penny of that back. As Richarlison gets forward, he's been brought down from behind by Thomas Partey. And now it's Arsenal's time to try and push Everton to the last minute. 2 minutes left. Richarlison's going to stay down here. And what a way to end a horrid run in the league of 8 without a win. It'll only be their 5th win of the season. Before this game, they were 16th. They would have gone up a few places. Not where they want to be, but it's a start. And with injury players returning, they could have a positive second half of the season. Demarai Gray whipped off the shirt, celebrated with the Everton fans who adore him right now. And it looks like it could be a 92nd minute winner to give Everton the 3 points. And Arsenal scratching their heads of why they've gone to 3 big away games this season. Liverpool, United and Everton, and have lost all 3. They're beating the teams they're supposed to, but when it comes to those teams that are just level on them on squad ability or maybe just a bit better, they are falling short still. Partey 50 seconds to go. Great zip ball into Saka. Inside to Ødegaard, takes it in his stride. He's had a couple of chances in the second half as well. He's not taken. He does work a float across into Aubameyang, who tries to head it on. Headed away by Holgate and volleyed away by former gunner Alex Iwobi up towards Richarlison, putting Ben White under pressure, and he gets there ahead of them. He's got Andre Gomez and Iwobi to the right against his former club. He's played into Alex Iwobi. What a save from Ramsdale. And it's cleared by Partey. You could argue Iwobi should have scored, but Ramsdale's come out and made himself look massive. And he's got a really good save. Great hold-up play from Richarlison, who's really playing that Calvert-Lewin role well. Rolled it into Iwobi, about 8 yards out. Pressured from behind by defenders, but then Ramsdale spread himself massively and made a top save, but I don't think it will be enough for Arsenal to get an equaliser because it's an Everton throw-in. Down the line, we've played the 6 minutes. Godfrey helps it on. Cleared by Partey. Intercepted by Decore. He's charging forward. He's going to keep going. He goes out wide to Gray. He's going to look towards the corner flag. Inside to Richarlison. Gets beyond Ben White. Turns towards the corner flag. He's met by the pressure of Tomiyasu. Poked out for a throw-in by the Japanese international. Rafa Benitez. Not all the pressure, but a lot of pressure will be lifted off of his shoulders after this game. Godfrey's coming over to take this throw-in. There can't be long left now. Godfrey throws it into Richarlison. Again, they can't get it off him. He tries to play it inside, loses out Richarlison. Bit of a stupid decision, and Arsenal can work out from the back. Down the line to Nketiah from Nuno Tavares. They've entered the Everton half. He's striding forward, Nketiah, towards the box. Plays it, dummy by Gabriel. And Aubameyang, what a miss! He's been dropped for tonight's game to the bench because of his poor form, and he's shown exactly what poor form that Arsenal fans have been talking about, and that's the full-time whistle. A performance that was very much needed on this Monday night under the lights at Goodison Park. Richarlison scored 3 goals, 2 of them disallowed for offside, 1 of them stood in the end, and that was the equaliser. But Arsenal away struggles continue. They've gone to Liverpool, lost 4-0. They've gone to Manchester United, lost 3-2. They've gone to Goodison Park and lost 2-1. Rafa Benitez conquers Arteta's men. And in a game that was just everything that Everton needed. Despite all the injuries, the boardroom struggles, the owners' difficulties with getting the fans on side, especially through the appointment of Rafa Benitez. But that result tonight brings in a lot of confidence for the rest of the season. Because it shows that despite when they are thrown against the wall, they can turn around and fight for themselves. It's Everton 2, Arsenal 1. Wow. Richarlison did start the scoring off in the first half, in the 44th minute, after a pretty balanced first half. Everton were looking more dangerous on the attack, but Arsenal were having their fair few chances as well. Richarlison from an Andros Townsend cross headed it to the far post. It was nestled into the goal, but it was offside, and that was clear. And then 2 minutes later, in the 47th minute, 2 minutes into additional time, Ødegaard got onto a Kieran Turner cross and volleyed it neatly into the bottom left corner for Arsenal to take the lead right on half-time. And then Everton, feeling a little bit hard done by, they come out for the second half a lot better, with energy. And then, that's when the game really came into life. Demarai Gray cutting in from the left-hand side onto the right foot, cannon the crossbar, and on the rebound, Richarlison was able to head home, and after having 2 goals previously disallowed, he finally got his goal that stood. It looked like it was going to go all the way through for a 1-1 draw, but Everton were the ones who just pushed the furthest, and it was that man again, Demarai Gray, cutting in from the left onto the right foot, but instead of hitting the bar, it cannoned off the right post, most importantly on the inside of the post, into the back of the net, giving Everton a much needed win. They have now got their first win since late September, which was against Norwich at home in a 2-0 win, and now they end their 8 games without a win against Arsenal, who will stay 7th in the Premier League. Wow, what a game. Great commentary and energy. Cheers, mate. Thank you. All good. When a game's like that and it's quite exciting, you can't help but get excited yourself. But wow, what a game. Oh, I didn't change the thing to second half. Oh well. But yeah, if that ever happens and I just forget to change it, just make sure you remind me, because I did just genuinely forget. So yeah. But like I said, what a game. Demarai Gray's the hero for Everton. Everton fans aren't in a hurry to go anywhere, as that was a very nice win. Like I said, it will put off a lot of pressure off the shoulders of many people that are currently employed at Everton. But wow, what a game. Really showing the Everton spirit, the Evertonian spirit. They never give up. And with some really important blocks as well at the end. Nketiah hit the post. Ødegaard had 2 chances blocked by Godfrey and Coleman. And I think they got exactly what they deserved there, Everton. Well, for me, that is the end of the live stream. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you are new. Everton march on to a first win since late September in the Premier League. Will this be the beginning now of their season, which progression can be made? They leapfrog a lot of teams with those 3 points, because they were currently 16th at the start of today. That's now changed for Everton. Like I said, they've gone from 16th to 12th, and could this be the start of their season finally picking up? And for Arteta, he'll have a lot of things to think about now, as his team has had another setback in form.